Hi, Corey Geiger along with Neil Rudel here at Kinnick Stadium in Iowa City. And Neil, well, this was a really impressive performance by Penn State tonight. 38-14 win. First win here since 1999. 38-0 lead. This was total dominance tonight.
You know, absolutely. And, you know, I can't say that Penn State is 30-some points better than Illinois or Iowa, but I think they're just making these teams really look bad. These teams aren't really prepared to play at the kind of pace Penn State wants to play and how opportunistic their defense is, and the job they're doing on offense is just, I think every Penn State fan is really enjoying this.
It just goes to show when you bring a new philosophy, a new game plan into this league, and Kirk Ferentz is used to playing against the old Penn State game plan, and these Big Ten coaches are used to playing against the old Big Ten game plans. Joe Tiller can come into Purdue and have some success. Bill O'Brien can come into here and switch things up completely with this NASCAR offense, and these teams aren't ready for it.
Yeah, I'm just really impressed. Obviously, you start with Matt McGloin. And, I mean, 11 receptions to the tight end. I mean, for years, Penn State, I don't think they had 11 receptions by a tight end, seriously, all of last year. I don't know what Hapley's number. I think he had maybe 10.
I think it might have been like 17 total. But the point is, well, yeah, they're utilizing that position exceptionally.
Yeah,
well.
and how it was. I thought the game turned on 4th and 3 from midfield, and Penn State didn't punt with a 7-0 lead and went to Kyle Carter, and he's becoming a star.
Yeah, he made a tremendous catch over Micah Hyde, the Iowa defensive back. Kyle Carter made that play, goes for 34 yards. They score a touchdown, 14-0. And man, oh man, this offense, when they get into the NASCAR set, it's hard to stop them. McGloin has a great understanding of what his role is. There was one play, Neil, where he checked down to probably his 4th option, going to his right for like an 8-9 yard gain in the 3rd quarter. The kid understands the offense. The offense is just very well designed.
Yeah, Bill Belton really looked like he benefited from the open date. He looked quick, decisive, and I think this is what they saw in Bill Belton. I mean, he was injured the very first game against Ohio with a high ankle sprain. It takes a while to come back from that, so the bye week really served him well.
I wanted to focus on what you wrote about in your column in the Mirror on Sunday, which is, this isn't your dad's Penn State team. Somebody tweeted to me during the game, are you sure this is Penn State we're watching? And the answer is no. This isn't anything close to the traditional Penn State type of team that we've come to see. Yeah, the 94 team had a tremendous offense, but still, you know, this is a very, very different football program in every way, shape, and form than it used to be.
Right, they're taking a lot of chances. You know, and they have clearly reinvented themselves. And I think anybody that would have, you know, obviously anybody that would have come in and succeeded, Joe, would have brought a new philosophy. But I think the whole NFL style, and one thing you're seeing, and I'll be honest, I really didn't like this late in the game. Bill O'Brien's been a tremendous coach. He'd be the front runner right now for National Coach of the Year. But I thought they should have got Stephen Bench in there in the 4th quarter for a couple reasons. Number one, Kirk Ferentz is a pretty classy guy, and it's 31-0, and you're going for it on 4th and 1 at your own 36. But more than that, if you get McGloin hurt, the rest of the season is potentially shot. And here's Bench. He looked like he knew what he was doing against Virginia when McGloin was hurt. And there have been a couple times this year, I don't know if the Navy game was the other game, where you're up really, really big, and I think that was the time to get Bench in the game. Bill O'Brien said afterwards he just wasn't comfortable with where the game was at that point. I don't know what that meant.
All right, now, Ohio State comes to Beaver Stadium next weekend. You can make a case. I'm not going to say this definitively that Penn State is the best team in the Big Ten, but this conference is clearly down. If you watched Ohio State struggle up and down the field against Purdue, Purdue is not a very good football team. Hopefully Braxton Miller will be okay. He did check out of the hospital, and at this point we think he's going to play next week. And I want to see it because you can throw Penn State, Ohio State, Nebraska, Wisconsin. They're all kind of in that mix of the best teams in the conference. But I think we're going to see on the field next week at Beaver Stadium a good matchup between two teams that have a very legitimate shot to claim the best team in the Big Ten title.
Right, and I think you're going to see, 5 in a row now, 3-0 in the Big Ten. You're really going to see Beaver Stadium start to feel good about it, really start to rock. They haven't sold out all year so far. and I think there's going to be a lot of enthusiasm for that game. Neither team can go to a bowl game, and I agree. I don't know. I mean, Braxton Miller looked seriously injured. He looked like he was out for the year when they took him out in an ambulance, and I'll be curious, I mean, with all the focus on concussions, but you want them at their best, so
Absolutely.
I would like to see him play.
And neither one of those teams can go to a bowl game, obviously. But, boy, you look at what Bill O'Brien's done. Urban Meyer comes into the league. It's a new Big Ten. And Penn State really, I guess the only thing I could say that would be a little bit of a Debbie Downer would be because of the sanctions, because we're going to see the scholarship reductions and maybe some some limited recruiting things over the next years. I would love to see Bill O'Brien in a normal, everything is, normal circumstances, 85 scholarships, good recruiting, because I think this guy could win or at least compete for a national championship if he had the kind of players you would think Penn State
It
could
may
compete
take a
against.
while. I mean, obviously they've bought into everything that he is doing, and he understands what it is. You can continue to look back. Where I think he's done a great job living in the present.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He's done a tremendous job, and I will concur. To me, he's the national coach of the year at this point. All right, for Neil Rudel, I'm Corey Geiger. Thanks for tuning in.